Again, that's what you should be. If you want to keep up with Ohio State right now in the Big Ten, you better be able to do that, because they reload in Columbus, and they got to be able to reload in Ann Arbor as well, which they're doing.
Kadarius Toney able to get free for a moment and then brought down just beyond the 15-yard line. Should be a very interesting early season for Michigan to keep things headed where Jim Harbaugh wants them to be, with a slate of games that they should manage until they get to October 21st at Penn State.
They really got after Penn State a year ago in Ann Arbor, and it was really after that game. A lot of speculation about James Franklin and his job at that point, and from that point on, Penn State was a completely different football team. And right now, starting this season, as a team with a lot of confidence.
Malik Zaire with this extended time here. Holly?
Two key injury updates moving forward. Maurice Hurt from Michigan, who got the BBPI award from me today. He is fine. I just heard him tell his athletic trainer he's fine. He's just not going back in the game right now. But for Florida, bigger concern, Chauncey Gardner, their safety that was already in for Marcel Harris, who has been injured with an Achilles. He has now come out of this game on crutches. So big question mark going forward with Chauncey Gardner.
That's not what they want to hear, considering that he moved over to take the place of Marcel Harris, who tore his Achilles this summer. As the stats are alarming here, 433 total yards for Michigan to just over 150 for Florida. And to your point, erase the two pick sixes.
Yeah.
Think about what you'd be looking at there. Total domination.
And really, it's very similar to when these teams met the last time. In that game, Michigan won 41-7, had no turnovers, and outgained them 503 to 273. Today, similar disparity in terms of total yards, but the turnovers made it look a little bit more respectable.
Well, I mentioned the early schedule for Michigan. I said, hey, something that should be managed prior to Penn State. And then, of course, look at the end of November with a top 10 Wisconsin team in Madison, and then the big one, the circle the date of November 25.
Big win for Maryland today out of the Big Ten, going down to Austin, Texas, beating the Longhorns in Tom Herman's debut.
They put up 51 to 41. Maryland won against Texas. That was a nice effort by Josh Hammond on the sideline here as we come upon the final half minute. 28-yard reception. So where does Florida head moving forward? Felipe Franks started. Zaire has gotten the majority of the dig it out of the hole cleanup work here.
Well, I think you got to go back to Franks. I mean, you got to go back and just kind of pick up the pieces and, again, kind of figure out when you get some of your pieces back, if you get some of those pieces back. And most teams make the most improvement between week 1 and week 2. And I never make too much out of a week 1 win. You know, last year we did a Texas Notre Dame, and you know, Texas looked like world beaters that night.
Somebody I know screamed Texas is back, folks. They weren't back. They had a coaching change by the end of the year.
1 week, 1 game does not make a season.
6th sack. Let's go blue for the guys who decided to wear all maize today. Florida had won 27 straight season openers, but Michigan got the best of them. 433 total yards of offense, holding Florida to under 200 yards of total offense, as Michigan, with maybe an early launching pad kind of day for all this young talent, takes care of Florida 33-17. Only the beginning, folks. We're in the
accomplished great feats
beyond what any one person could do.
We
drive us to move forward, stay ahead, and save lives. We all play a part for the greater good.
field and in the stands. And just like football in Alabama, Blue Cross is everywhere.
As we wonder what this new college football season might contain, step back with me into the Wayback Machine 10 years ago, 2007. Yeah, I was still this good looking then. Here we go! Woo! In 2007, number one wasn't a ranking, it was a plague.
Number one in deep trouble now.
Victory! Kentucky! As for the number two team, number two, they stunk as well. In fact, the number two team lost 7 of its last 9 games that year. In 2007, Nick Saban was just arriving at Alabama, and the Tide lost to Louisiana Monroe, the Warhawks.
You are putting winning before doing it right, and that's wrong.
Quick staring contest, Hawk. God, you win again. Ohio State lost to the Juice.
The Juice matured like a fine wine right in front of our eyes.
USC was a 41-point favorite at home and lost. For Stanford and its first-year head coach, it was like khakis from heaven. Notre Dame lost to Navy as the midshipmen snapped a 43-game losing streak to the Irish. How about Rutgers? Rutgers chopping that wood, beating number 2 South Florida on the banks of the Raritan. But if there was one day where the insanity peaked in 2007, it was December 1st. The day started with an impromptu press conference from Les Miles saying he was staying at LSU.
There'll be no questions from me. I represent me in this issue. Thank you very much. Have a great day.
We'll do it live! We'll do it live! Fuck it! LSU had a better day than West Virginia, who was a 29-point favorite at home, a win away from the BCS title game.
A stunning upset over the West Virginia Mountaineers.
Bad day for Booney. That same night, number 1 Missouri, they lost to number 9, Boomer Sooner. As for LSU, who was number 7 going into that weekend, somehow, someway, they made it to the title game. The Tigers and the Hat, they won it all.
Big third down. Ghost when you pre-order Destiny 2 at GameStop. Power to the players. Rated T for teen.